All right, peace, peace, peace. First and foremost, man, hopefully the Most High in your house shall is blessing y'all day. By His mercies, we are consumed. We're alive in the Most High in your house shall's body, and two, we're naturally alive, man. And yeah, man, I'm gonna get into the. We gonna get into this. I should say, man, because earlier, like earlier this week, man, my coworker, she's actually very well. I'm not my coworker, my supervisor. She's very hilarious, but she was just she's just anyway, my supervisor, but she said something though, and it kind of led me to this. I was actually looking at this on Thursday because Thursday was 6. I was looking at Genesis 6, but she said, "Listen," she said, she said, I need me a man like Biggie, this ugly, but with with some swag to him or something like that." She said something like that. Honestly, so, but that's what she said when I was about to clock out, and I was like, "Yeah, well, Biggie did say he's tall and black and ugly as ever." He said that on One More Chance, but it kind of led me because actually once I looked at it, kind of that conversation that we had kind of came to my remembrance, man, because you know because let's get Genesis 6:22, and also too how to end from the beginning, man, as well, man. How it's like that's why we talk about here about the outward appearance a lot, man. A lot of like people just make these mistakes. It's not a because as we really need to that's why we should avoid circular talk, as the brother Chronicles of Judah used to always say, because we really think like the brother of 71st born says, man, it's really not a man and women things, man. These are hearts and men things. It's really a people thing, man, with these certain dynamics and dichotomies in life, man. Well, do we add, because that's why I kind of strive away from the gender war conversation, but do in aspects do we we on here address certain things that um men do and women do, yes, and that those different dynamics, yes, but it's really a people thing, honestly, too. But because a lot of times too, that's why word goes into not going, don't focus on outer appearance, or don't focus on a woman's looks or a man's looks. It's because it's not about that, man. It's about they fear the Most High Yahweh and who the inward person is, inward man and woman is, honestly. And that was from the beginning, man, because because let's just grab this too, because I read this scripture like a lot of times too, but I didn't realize it was like one of it is right in front of my face. It's like, okay, dang, this was a precursor, to that as well, man. Because also too, this goes into be unequally yoked with unbelievers as well. But I know we're gonna get into that real quick, man, because and we talked about this before. I know, brother, in when we mentioned this video, when we talked about this, when the last video we did talk about this, he kind of got like he disagreed. That's cool, but was kind of getting a little, I don't know. He just really disagreed, and this is really not about angels having sex, but hey, if you believe that, then fine, that's on you. I'm just over here. I just don't ascribe to that. If you all brothers and sisters subscribe to that's cool. I'm not here to argue about that, but we kind of talked about this before. But anyway, let's just get this as well. Genesis chapter 6 verse 2. Then the sons of Yahweh, or the sons of Yahweh, saw the daughters of men that they were fair, and they took them wives which they chose. So see that. So see, what did they do? What they say? It says because it says the same thing in Susanna when the two wicked elders saw her. They said she was very fair to look upon. Even in Genesis 12, where it says about Sarah and Abraham, like because Abraham had his, but that's all. That's another conversation for another day. But especially as men, there's a level, especially if you have a beautiful woman. Honestly, there's a level of security that we do have to have. Honestly, with that, like men should have, shouldn't have to um, it's this level of security. That's just another thing. Honestly, we talked about that. Oh, actually, a while back. I think actually, yeah, when we was talking about I was watching the Ashanti Rain on Me video, and that's one of the things that and if you watch that video, that her and Lorenz Tate, he didn't have that, honestly, but it's understandable. But that's another conversation for another day. But let's read this again. Um, Genesis chapter 6 verse 2, it says that the sons of Yahweh saw the daughters of men that they were fair, and they took them wives, and which they chose. So see that, but see but let's go First Samuel 6, and that's why Yahweh said, "Judge not according to appearance," and this is all from the end from the beginning, man. So even from the beginning, what you call them, um That's it. Well, let's get 1 Samuel 16, verse 7. We're going to look at this. 1 Samuel 16, verse 7. It says, but the Lord said unto Samuel, look not on his countenance or on the height of his stature, because I have refused him. For the Lord seeth not as man seeth. For man looketh on the outward appearance, but the Lord looketh on the heart. Yeah, exactly. So the Most High House looks at the heart, the inward man and woman, man. Looks at the person, man. Honestly, character, like integrity, faithfulness, integrity. Are you just? Are you faithful? Are you honorable? Things of that nature, or of respect, how you carry yourself. Honestly, and this is for our people, like more in the word and out the word. This is for people in general, but like honestly, man, like even for people outside the word, that's what we should focus on. Because me and my homie, we watch sometimes like the pop the balloon thing, man. And both men and women do all the time. They just go off the looks and things of that nature. It's just that's why people get got every time, man. Going after, that's why Sirach says, go not after your lust. And the word tells us, go not after our lust, man. So, shoot, even I still struggle with that, man. So it's like not even, actually a lot. I still struggle with that in that aspect, man. But, that is what it is, man. But that's why, like, we walk in the spirit and not in the flesh, honestly, man. Like, that's why the brother Akor says, the Most High House increases and we decrease. Our own will, our own wants and desires decrease, man. But let's read 1 Samuel 16:7 again. But the Lord said unto Samuel, look not on his countenance or the height of his stature, because I have refused him. For the Lord seeth not as man seeth. For man looketh on outward appearance, but the Lord looketh on the heart. So let's get Proverbs chapter 31, verse 30, man, because this go for both men and women. This is a people thing, honestly, that we're not supposed to do, because it says right here. It says favor is deceitful, and beauty is vain. But a woman that feareth the Lord, she shall be praised. Exactly, man. So that's really what it's about, honestly. Because you know what it is too. Things like the brother sent me firstborn said, man, things are trade off, man. Because honestly, like right, just like with women, right? They're not going to get the whole traditional man, the man of honor, respect, or that masculine presence, actually, that the traditional man, as they say they want, if they're on this like independent, I do what I want, like that self-will, that whorish mentality. Because the whore is more than just having sex with a lot of people. It's a spirit, it's a mentality. It's very self-will. I want to do what I want to do, but still want at the same time I still want a traditional man. But any man of respect in his right mind, man, honor is not going to be that. So it's a trade-off. So okay, you can have all that stuff, be this quote unquote like the divine feminine mother goddess, or that type of thing. What kind of what's going on now, the modern Western liberal woman, things of that nature, order. You can be that, do all that, but you realize you're just not gonna get that man. If you do get a man, you're not really gonna respect him. He's gonna be an actual like sucker, or like simp, I should say, honestly, because that's another word that's overused. But that's probably what they're probably gonna get. They're not gonna respect that. But also too for brothers as well, for men, like you can get like if you want that, because it is too, like the brother that sent me firstborn said, man, like the those women, the ancient, well, no, don't get twisted, man, because there are some good women out here. Even the word you just had to like good. It takes a while to find it, honestly, and that's really giving the lore of the Most High House shot. But there's good women out here, but it's just like the Bigfoot or the Loch Ness monster or the Chupacabra. I'm just joking, but they're out there, but they're hard to find, honestly. But yeah, but I had to do that. But honestly, but they might. But here's the thing: this is a trade off as well. Because for the most part, if you're gonna get a woman like that feared the Lord, like because it's not really about the looks, but she might not look at the way you want her to look. That's a trade off, though. So it's not gonna get a drop there. Now, if you do, hey, listen, that's a good thing too. That really doesn't matter at the end of the day. But if you do that, that's all praise to the Most High House, shot, man. But if you get a Abigail or Susanna or Judith or Ruth, that, or Sarah or Rachel, so women that were gorgeous but feared the Lord, or just women even outside the word, like women that are very good people, honestly good to the core, but also too they drop that gorgeous. That's a good thing. But a lot of times too, those women like that, they might not look how you want them to look. And so that's the trade off, man. So that's neither here nor there, man. But I just wanted to say that as well. But but Proverbs chapter 31, verse 30. It says, favor is deceitful and beauty is vain, but a woman that feared the Lord, she shall be praised, because that's what it's about. But yeah, let's get this Ecclesiastes, because that's why it says this. Because there's nothing wrong with looking at a beautiful woman, but this is kind of going to that, like, looking at every, like, being just don't get caught up and focus on that. Ecclesiastes, also known as Sirach chapter 9, verse 8, it says, turn away thine eye from a beautiful woman, look not upon another's beauty, for many have been deceived by the beauty of a woman, for where the love is kindled as a fire. So see that? Let's go to 2 chapters after that, 11. Yep. It's the same type of deal, but the Most High House, I was saying this from the beginning. It says, Ecclesiastes, also known as Sirach chapter 11, verse 2. It says, commend a man not for his beauty, neither a poor man, a man for his outward appearance, man. Because, yeah, it's not really about that, man. It's really not. I mean, I get it as on the natural tip. As people, we were very visual things in nature, and that's natural. But that's not really about that, honestly. But reaching a level of spiritual maturity, you gotta realize it's not about that at all, man. So this is a people thing, man. It's not man and woman man or woman thing, man. It's a people thing, honestly. But because we pretend to have types and things of that nature, but even from the beginning, we see that, like, the sons of man, the sons of God, like, they made that mistake. The sons of Adam, they made that mistake. All right, let's read this again. Command, Ecclesiastes, also known as Sirach 11, verse 2. Commend not a man for his beauty, neither a poor man for his outward appearance. So see that? Now let's go to John chapter 7 real quick. John chapter 7, verse 24. It says, judge not according to appearance, but judge righteous judgment. So see that? Also too, man. Yeah, exactly. So this is what it is, man. So let's go back to Genesis 6 and 2, man, because that's what the mistake that the sons that from the beginning that was made, because they said they're afraid to look upon. They're very beautiful. Genesis chapter 6, verse 2. It says the sons of Yahweh, sons of God, saw the daughters of men that they were fair, and that they were fair, and they took them to be wives of all which they chose. Exactly, man. So, but see, this was also a precursor to, like, them being unbelievers. That's why the law said that, like, don't take them, because they'll have you going. They can have your heart going against their other gods. Let's get Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 3. It says, when the Lord thy God shall bring you into the land whither thou goest, and it shall, because this is what happened to Solomon later on, we see, it hath cast thee out many nations before thee, the Hittites, the Girgashites, the Amorites, the Canaanites, the Perizzites, the Hivites, the Jebusites, 7 nations that are greater and mightier than thou. In the verse 2, it says, and when the Lord thy God shall deliver them before thee, thou shalt smite them and utterly destroy them. Thou shalt make no covenant with them, nor shalt show no mercy unto them. Neither, verse 3, neither make thou marriages with them. Thy daughter thou shalt not give unto his son, nor his daughter thou shalt take unto thy son. Verse 4, here's a point, because this happened in the beginning. For they will turn away thy son from following me, and they might serve other gods. So will the anger of the Lord be kindled against you, and destroy thee suddenly. So see that, and that later happened, like, with Solomon. Of course, Solomon, and here's the thing. I'm glad we're mentioning this right now with Solomon, because, like the brother sent me firstborn said as well, Solomon was this classic case of don't put yourself above what is written. Actually, we got I saw a picture this morning. We're probably gonna post it here, but you can't put yourself above what's written, because he's the second wisest man to ever walk, and he still, like, fell things of that nature, and so. Well, also too, I was with a Lyft driver earlier this week, man, and like the brother sent me firstborn said, man, a lot of times when men get older, or even people get older, but especially like when men get older, like, well, it's really people, but men get older, they can, like, not go as hard at certain things as they used to they used to hold on to. Like I mean, the values and principles that they used to hold on to. They tend to cape and they tend to you know. Now some don't. Some say they're still like stuck in their ways. Like no, they don't care. They shoot. They'll even have high blood pressure standing on what they believe in. But most of them they tend to like be more lenient now because they're older. They can't go as hard as they used to, and that's what kind of happened to Solomon. Because I was talking to one of the Lyft driver, a good brother, man, but he said he made a lot of mistakes, even kind of going to like kind of what we're talking about now with his first marriage and things. And he says now he's unhappily married now as well. Because when I get in Lyft or Uber, like that nature, I like to talk to people, man, things in nature. He said, man, I said, hey, man, how's life, brother? How you doing? He said, man, you really want to ask that man with his wife of mine, man? I wish I could go back in the time machine, man, and not compromise my respect, man, because, that's just what it is. And he kind of went after his lust now. But now after this, like, just talking to him now, I could tell, like, he's really going through it, man. Because a lot of times, man, like the Brother Chronicles used to say, man, a lot of husbands, man, like especially how these times now, man, they're suffering in silence, man. Like, oh my gosh, they just like they just having their like the woman, the wife running amok, man. That's just is what it is with that. But that's another conversation for another day. But that's what. But he's older, so he said, listen, man, I'm not. I was like, listen, man, well. I was like, yo, man, what you going to do about it? I said, man, I'm just going to have to stay and just deal with it, man, because I want to, because I want to tell him this, well, that's not a story for another day, because technically, like, once you're married to somebody, you're supposed to be married for life unless they pass away, like the word says, but they're without the word, so that's something else. But I meant to tell him, man, like, well, yeah, man, what you gonna do, man? He said, well, man, listen, man, I'm older now, man. I can't do nothing. But I say that all this to say, man, because when you're older, especially when a man gets older, a lot of times that tends to happen. Because a lot of times I'm of the belief, like, say, example for like or Malcolm X, right? Like, I think had he been alive, technically stuff that he stood for, it probably would have went one way. He probably still would have stood and believed, like, stuff that he believed in, but probably sometimes he probably could have went liberal and what kind of like a little bit, man, because he probably been older. He couldn't have fight for something as he once did. But no, I actually scratched that Malcolm X. Muhammad Ali was like that, man, because when Muhammad Ali was younger, he was part of a separatist organization. So all the ideals and like things that he believed in, like he stuck to them. But once he got a little older, he kind of became more of like a globalist, things of that nature. His ideals kind of leaned to more liberalism because he got older and he had his disease. He had Parkinson's, so he couldn't go as hard as and things that, like, as he once did believe in. And also too, he had to like he lost a lot of money and things of that nature. So things that he didn't really full-heartedly agree with, he kind of went towards that, because it's like a lot of times when men get older, they tend to do that. But that's with Solomon. But that's neither here nor there. But that's just something that I just wanted to say that point, because a lot of people, didn't mean to be too long-winded with that, but a lot of people with Solomon, they go in Solomon like, oh, listen to Solomon, this and that. But no, when a man gets older, sometimes, man, that can happen. So anyway, let's get back to Genesis 6:2. But the point is, honestly, like, they were unbelievers, man. Genesis chapter 6 verse 2, it says that the sons and daughters of men that they were fair, and they took them wives and all that they chose. So see that? So see that because they were sons of God, man. So, but let's get this Numbers 5 and 8. And they took the daughters of men, like, but then he say, like, law and also 2 Psalms that ye are gods, man. Supposed to be so, can't sin as men sin, or be like, that's the difference, man. But let's get Numbers chapter 5 verse 8. It says no, I'm saying number 5 verse 6. Speak unto the children of Israel, when a man or woman shall commit any sin that men commit, to do a trespass against the Lord, that person be guilty. So see that? Because why it says that men commit, because you sons, we're supposed to be sons and daughters of the Most High House, sons and daughters of God. So. And you could tell they were unbelievers because the earth went corrupted after the way of the Most High House. They went to their own way. They the earth was corrupted. They didn't keep the ways. No, let's go verse 12. It says, and Yahweh looked upon the earth before it was corrupt, For all flesh corrupted his way upon the earth. Exactly, man. So that you could tell they were unbelievers. It's not about angels having sex and things and nature, but that's neither here nor there. And you know, but let's get Genesis chapter 6, verse 2. That the sons of Yahweh took the daughters of men that they were fair, and they took them wives which they chose. So that's neither here nor there, man. But hopefully it's edifying, man. So hopefully the Most High Yahweh shall bless y'all day. So peace.